mast. 2 winches, 2 Antal winches on the mast, one on each side. 3 reefing points for the main. Reefing points for the main. Reefing lines for the back of the boat, for the back of the sail are here, and they coil down there with locks under there. Obviously puts controls for the anchor winch, the Maxwell anchor winch. There's no cap for that one. Anchor locker, Maxwell 1200 watt horizontal anchor winch, chain drop down below. 2 spare fuel containers. The 2 stainless tanks are underneath each of the halves, so one tank is there, the other tank is on this side. The entry pipes are just there, the rear for easy access. This is the gas locker, 2 gas bottles, both very new, and then the rope locker. This is where we also keep the fenders when we're sailing. Twin controls, obviously port, starboard, electric up and down, choke, keys going at the bottom. Marine depth and log. Maxwell remote control for the anchor winch, up and down, up is up, down is down. There we go. Hours there, 158 on both engines, you can't see them. Obviously stainless steering wheel, standard contest steering compass. And from the steering station we have good views of both bows, and obviously good views of both stones. At the moment the dinghy is on the aft trampoline, all covered up. Engine's on it as well. We use that fender just to make sure as we're sailing along it doesn't scratch the paintwork. Hot water tank, engine battery, hydraulic steering. Could do with a clean, mind you. And we have the whale aft shower step. The winches are all Antal except I have one replacement. Harken, I think. This is the main sheet winch, this is the traveller winch. So the traveller runs along the aft. There's the Harken winch, brand new, and the original Antal winches. This is the Genoa winch, which also doubles as the spinnaker or the code 0. We take the code 0 back to here and the spinnakers back to there, either inside, no, they're always outside from this position. The up and down for the dagger boards. Oh, it's not out because it causes sun damage, but that's the horseshoe, goes in the frame there. At the back we have the solar panels, 3. Even with the dirt, these have been holding the fridge and the freezer and all the power for the boat for the past week, even though it could do with a bit of a dusting off of the residual dirt. Oh, and of course on the other side of that you can see the big tall SSB aerial. These ropes hanging down is what we pull the dinghy up with when it's got the engine on. When it doesn't have the engine on, we can pull it up by hand. Obviously we have these lockers. These are all wet lockers with drain holes underneath. I keep all the dive gear in that one. These two we just keep the ropes and fishing gear. This is full of tarpaulin. So from the steering station, which is here, the GPS is immediately in front of you, and it's on a rotation that can face inwards if it's in rough weather and you're wanting to read it from the inside. So all your hands, everything's close at hand. Obviously depth and speed. This has also got depth and speed on it. Obviously engine controls, steering wheel, and view at the front. So now we've just put the cushions out for the cockpit, and actually one of the things that's specific about this boat that I changed from the original design was I didn't like all the square corners. So you'll see on the boat there's a lot of rounded curves which make it much more comfortable for sitting at. A lot harder to paint and fare, but we've got nice thick firm cushions for the cockpit. These are all perspex doors, perspex sliding windows to come in, stainless locks, and we have the saloon, curved seats, with nicely formed curved wooden doors open into the hydraulic steering in the middle. This is the hydraulic drive for the steering, fire extinguisher, and this is the course master auto helm. These are the connections in case you want to use the petrol out of the tanks for the outboards if there's some issue with the tanks. Under here we just have hi-fi system and stuff. So moving down into the galley, big work surface on the outer edge with 3 sets of drawers. The usual oven and drill, gas, yeah, quite new. And on this side we have a 3-burner gas hob. My wife says quite new. And this is obviously a sink, hot and cold water. Storage behind, storage up top, drawers and glasses. Oops, wasn't looking. So glasses and cups there. We keep plates and plates are obviously 240-volt electricity throughout the boat. So the other thing here is that obviously this is the other daggerboard case with a water tank behind, again all the way from this point down to the floor. Again, airtight voids underneath all the floors. This little section is just 2 inches deep for carrying the pipes, and it's completely dry because we don't have any leaks. And this is the fridge. It's pretty good size. And that's the galley. Now I suppose the other good thing about the galley is it's not cut off from the living area. The person here can both see, this is the sort of chest height, or I can see the people and talk to the people in the galley. as they're cooking, and also we tend to hand food up and down directly over the top of here, so it's actually a very communal space, and it's lovely. All open air to the communal area, and very good ventilation too. So walking through from the kitchen or galley into the master bedroom, the ensuite facing us. So here we have the main cabin. It's got good headroom, certainly quite spacious for the head. You can kneel and sit up. Obviously we have under bed hatches, that's actually the underwing. So we have quite a few hatches, and the storage goes all the way back. And again, I'm not sure if you can see into the depths, but that goes a long way. Lots of storage there if you want to use it. Obviously bedside storage here too. 2 LEDs, 1 240. On this side we have clothes drawers, and down at the bottom we have a shoe drawer. Now the thing about this is it just rotates, and the weight of the things inside keeps it closed. We have a vanity with a mirror that is cracked, and we have a hanging wardrobe full length for the ladies. The other thing to mention is this is all void space, as in that, and again, as you can see, the flooring is all completely covered or sealed, so underneath the floor it's all void air spaces. So going into the ensuite head, we have sink and toilet again, toilet, big open space, dead spaces behind, holding tank under. There is a holding tank there, I haven't used it. This is the nose cone of the bridge deck, and you can see the semicircular shape. Apart from this space here, which is about a foot or maybe just over a foot, the rest of those spaces are all airtight voids again for flotation. And here we have the holding tank about this section, and in front of that, that's all dead space voids, and in front of, in the forepeak there, in front of that vertical wall is all foam. So you have a compression bow, and then several dead spaces with voids to maintain flotation even if the bow is completely ripped off. So this is the communal head at the rear of the port hull. So this is electric toilet, controls are there. We have a sink, obviously a whale tap, and this comes up to sit up there if you want it. There's a shower, and down here is the sump. That is the switch for the shower sump, and down here, whoa, that looks like a mess. We have the drain, we have the depth and the log, and the second one for the GPS. So here we have the chart table, SSB radio, VHF radio, LED lights, charts stored in 2 separate drawers. And papers, spare rope. The 40-watt battery charger, switch for the power, 2 40-volt switches, 12-volt switches, all very nicely organized, numbered. Desk, drawer. Mention we have a DC meter. It also measures amps in and out. It needs to be zeroed. Voltage. So this is reading 12.7 volts. It's now night. We've had the fridge and freezer running without any power. We've actually unplugged the 40-watt battery charger for the last week and been on board all week with the fridge and the freezer running continuously, and it's never fallen below 12.5 volts. Never quite sure why it is, but this voltmeter always measures 0.4 of a volt higher than that one, so this is reading 13, or it's only 0.3 at the moment. That's 12.7. This is measuring 13. We're actually using 10 amps at the moment, so that's obviously the fridge and the freezer are both on, plus quite a few lights. So lots of space. So this is the freezer. The condenser is underneath, and this is about a year old. The freezer is really very big to both ends. And this is the daggerboard case. See void behind there, but underneath here is the water tanks. So you can see the daggerboards on the Pescott's kind of angle inwards. As you can see, it's kind of angling in at, I don't know, 20 degrees probably, 10 degrees, 15 degrees. And that's all water tank from this point here down to that point there. So that is around 200 litres. So moving through from the chart table through to the main upper cabin. The forepeak is roughly empty, but here is the cabin, queen size bed, very good headroom, above sitting head height and kneeling head height. Again, void, dead space, trapped air, storage underneath this bunk, just like the main cabin. We have hanging, full-length hanging rocker here, shelving for clothes, linen, whatever you like, shoes at the bottom, and a vanity. Little bedside table, and going through to the forepeak. Again, not a lot in here apart from storage. This would be long enough to have another bunk if people wanted to. You'd need to just have a little extension here, and you could get a 6-foot person to sleep in there. That's obviously the 6-man Zodiac life raft. That is now out of date, but never used, thankfully. 3 years out of date, would need to be serviced if you were serious about needing to use it in the future. Obviously, fan, there's a fan in the main cabin as well. So this is the aft cabin of the starboard hull, and it's a double. Head on the left, feet on the right, because there's a low section there. Shelf to the right, and lots of storage space over here. Mainly got tools and things like that, but 4 lockers which are really quite deep. There's also another couple of lockers there, but behind that there's also another dead space. And as you can see on the floor, we have these floors are all completely sealed